Welcome to Two Girls Big Cups, the podcast where we sip and spill on all things Tumbler talk and oh so much more. Grab your big cup and join us for your favorite juicy chats you've been itching to have. Cheers!
Welcome everyone back to another episode of the Two Girls Big Cups podcast. I'm Kelly Burns with Burns Boutique, and with me is Christina Smith from the Cup Smith, as always. We have another great episode today, and today is another extra special episode.
Yes.
So by the time this airs, it is October.
Yes.
Spooky season.
Spooky season.
Spooky season. I got a little spooky today.
Yes.
So we have a very spooky guest today.
Yes, we're kicking off spooky season the right way with a spooky guest.
Yes, we wanted someone that is their vibe, that is their niche. And so today we have Sofia from Hoops and Craft Boutique joining us. Sofia, welcome.
Hi. There she is.
Hi. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, of course.
Excited.
Yes.
I'm excited too. I was excited all day.
Good.
I'm even just excited just to say hi and talk to you.
I know.
I feel like we haven't talked until...
It's been a long time. I used to catch your lives like on TikTok and stuff.
I was thinking that too. I'm like, I used to catch her on Instagram all the time, and I'd hop in and say, I'm like, I was here with her. But you've been busy. You've been busy, girl.
I know. It's exhausting.
You've been making cups. You've been making
growing a child.
Yeah. The making the baby part, I think like I can't, put that on a break. Unfortunately. So it's been an interesting year so far.
Yeah. Well, congratulations.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
When are you due?
I'm due January 13th, 2025.
Okay. All right.
So we just hit that 6-month mark. And my appointments are going to start being more frequent.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to say, I mean, if you go into labor in the episode, that'd get us some really good views, but dang it.
Yeah, right.
I feel exhausted.
You feel exhausted?
Really tired. I will sit and make cups or try to, and then like an hour later, I'm like, I need a nap. I need a break.
We don't have that pregnancy excuse, and we still
right. I'm tired, and I'm not even growing a human.
For real. Well, we've known you for like a few years now, because I mean, we met in the 3D Tumbler Lounge, and been following you and everything ever since. But like, what's your origin story? Like, how long have you been doing tumblers? What got you started?
So I started in 2020, like everyone else, I feel. That's when I really, first I started watching and just watching, to be honest. I didn't have TikTok, and then I was on Instagram and I saw Yvette Maestra Creations just doing her glitter videos. And I was like, oh my gosh, it was just, just like, you were just like, oh my gosh, look at the glitter fall. Like, it was so beautiful. And slowly I was like, hey, I think I could do that. I want that. And so I slowly started to build all the things I needed. At the time, though, I was working full-time for a very big gym. And I was a manager, and that was my career path. But because of COVID, we obviously had shutdowns and whatnot. And so in my time away, that's when I started learning. And I started watching tutorials. I got TikTok and watched the mini tutorials on there. And I think when I started though, I always knew I wanted to start like doing markets, like doing events and fairs. Like that was my goal from the beginning. But I was like, I have to get good first. Like I have to be really good. And so I started making cups and just giving them to people like my friends and I have 3 sisters. I was giving them to my sisters, my mom and dad. I would make them for everybody, like all my family members, and just tell them just tell people that you got it from me, so if they want something more custom or personalized as a gift, I'm your girl. Because I know tumblers have been around for a long time, but nothing like the glitter tumblers, And then I did my first market that first year that I started. and I was like hooked immediately. And that started like one passion in my business. But as much as I enjoyed doing glitter, I started to figure out this clay part and the 3D, the sculpting. That took on a whole new monster of its own. And
as it tends to do.
Yeah.
yeah, it really did. I mean, like I went like buying the machine to like, spit, flatten it out, and buying all the different clays and just, whatever. And that had, at the time when I started, it was very calming compared to like the glitter, like getting the ombre just right and getting your hands right, like when you were glittering and stuff, and or making sure the water slide came out good. But like put some clay on a cup and everyone thinks it's like the raddest thing ever. And so I kept towards that way. I would YouTube, what's his name? Ace of Clay. I think it is Ace of Clay. So I would YouTube him. My son used to watch him because my son would make little clay figures too. And so I would watch lots of clay makers. And then I started watching FX, like from the movies, like YouTube.
Yeah, like
stuff.
the makeup effects.
Yeah. Because that was before like any mentorships were going, before people were putting like YouTubes out for 3D stuff.
Yep.
But yeah, that's when it started 4 years ago. So it's been 4 years.
That's awesome.
And that's funny you say that, because that's kind of what I did too, because there wasn't anything.
Yeah.
And so I think like my Hocus Pocus tumbler was the first thing I did. I watched a tutorial from like someone making an actual book.
Okay. Yeah.
Like a physical book. So it's like you had to watch and find out other things. So that's cool that you like watch the mask work and that kind of stuff, like makeup art.
Yeah. It was so interesting, especially because like the painting and the coloring and all that stuff almost brings it to life, because I feel even now, as someone who's been doing it for a while, like you're like, is this gonna come out the way I want it to? And then once you get the clay on it or the color on it, you're like, okay. I did a shrunken head on the skull sleeve, the Beetlejuice shrunken head, and I was doing it, I was like, I don't see it. Like, and I put some brown paint on it. I was like, okay, I could see it now. Like,
you posted that recently, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. I was like, I want to make sure it's the one I was thinking of. Yes, that turned out so cool.
Yeah, but it's the painting, and I've learned a lot from the movie effects people that do like all the little, the wrinkles and the lines and stuff like that. It's so neat. It's so cool.
I love seeing all the different like vendor events that you do.
Yeah, we do a lot. It's exhausting. I mean, this year we definitely took a seat back from as many as we used to do. I think the first 2 years I was signing up for anything and everything. If somebody accepted me, I paid for it, and I was like, yeah, count me in. And then now we're maybe, I think I've done like maybe 15 total this year, maybe less than that. But we're doing like larger convention style,
That's awesome.
So it's like 2 or 3 day events usually.
That's so cool. You had one today too, didn't you?
Yeah. So I'm all sweaty.
You look beautiful. You're glowing.
Yeah. We'll go with that.
So you said that when you first started, going to vendor events was like one of your first goals that you really wanted to get into. What about that made that appealing to you?
Honestly, for as long as I could remember, like going to like farmers markets and going to swap meets even, I love that. My parents used to take us when we were younger, and when I would go to farmers markets as I became an adult, like just seeing people's art, it was crazy to me. Like, oh, they get to come and sell what they made, like I love that aspect of being in a business like that. It's basically your own storefront for the minimal time that you're there. It's your storefront. It's how you represent yourself and your business. And I absolutely loved it. I learned a lot because that was a weekly thing. And we all know with epoxy cups, that's not really smart. It's not easy. But it definitely taught me a lot when I first started.
That's really cool. Because both Kelly and I have never done those events before. So we're always like, I don't know how to give you any advice.
Right. That's why we were like, dude, so we got to get Sofia on here. Like, she knows this stuff. She'd be perfect because we've talked about it on here. We're both like, I got nothing to add because we have no experience with it. We've never done it.
Yep. Our advice is like, figure out your costs. And then we're like,
yeah.
I don't know what else to tell you.
It's definitely been a journey, and I've learned so much.
So
and
what would be like your number one tip for somebody first starting out?
Okay, so it sounds kind of crazy, and you're like, why would you say that? But it's the truth. It's the honest truth. Fake it until you make it. And I mean that in the sense of your branding. Don't go to an event with the plastic table covers from Party City. Have a banner made with your name, with your business name. Have business cards prepared. If you have, like for me, like my branding is a certain brand, right? Like I have this orange and black stripes. My hoops, I always wear my hoops to my events. I've become this character that I'm presenting. When I first started, I got my banner from Office Depot and it was like $13. Now I have like $1,000 worth of marketing branding for my booth, so I think that's one of the biggest things I would say is fake it till you make it. Once you look legit, people will start, they won't question as much as your pricing, like, you're charging this much for that, because you look legit, and I think that's the biggest thing. And then you'll start learning stuff. If it's not fake it till you make it, network. When you're there, networking is huge. Everybody, your neighbors, the other vendors there, ask some questions. That would be like my second thing. Yeah.
If you don't mind me asking this, how much does it typically cost to like rent a booth at those? Like, does it vary a lot, like depending on the event or how big or small it is, or?
It really does vary. If I do an event and it costs me $25 to be there, I'm not going to expect a big profit, a huge profit. Maybe I will get a big profit, but I'm not expecting that. The most I've paid for a booth, which was a 3-day event with over 20,000 people guaranteed to be at that event, was almost $2,000. It was $2,000.
Okay.
And 3 days, you're basically there for 10 to 12 hours, at least like a Saturday and Sunday, and then usually the Friday is like 6 hours long. So that's the most. But also that's also California prices. It varies.
But it sounds like it's also kind of worth it though. Like the lower cost ones don't seem like from what you said, it sounds like they don't do as well. So it's the more you pay, you're probably guaranteed a better turnout, a better absolutely success rate.
There's some events, like I'll say average, like the 1-day events that are like today, the average type events that's like 4 to 6 hours long. It's between like $100 to maybe like $180 usually. But you'll definitely make that back depending on what your products are and how you market and how you use your social media.
Right. Yeah. And with you being predominantly 3D, you can easily make that back in just like a cup.
Yeah.
Or two.
And I know because I watch you guys, right? I didn't realize I wasn't subscribed, but I did. But I was watching
You're our 50th subscriber then! I've been watching that 49 for like 2 weeks. I'm like, come on.
But I was watching because I know you guys were talking about like asking if there's like vendors who are similar to you. Mm-hmm. Even if there's not, or if they say there's not, someone brings more cups. And that was like my biggest lesson I had to learn. And at first I was like, well, I'm never doing this again. But I realized I just have to be better. I have to bring more to the game. So obviously my 3D cups, I have my glitter cups. I also do sublimation. I do glass cans. I do snow globes. I do the Starbucks. I bring everything that we can all think of. Mm-hmm. I do it.
That's smart though, because you're going to hit a bigger audience that way versus like if you just have 3D, well, that only hits people willing to spend X amount of dollars. Mm-hmm. But if you have the sublimation, like if you've literally a whole huge price range,
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. That's another thing is like price range is huge. When I first started, everything was $45 and up. That was like my minimum cost of a cup. And then I realized like some shows weren't as good. And then I had my friends who like, again, I met through this business, who sell stickers for $2 or $3. They're like, oh, I made this much money. I was like, how? From selling your $3 sticker? Yeah, from selling the $3 sticker. And so I've incorporated stickers. I have a friend who's an artist, and they take my ideas, make it come to life. And, you know, it's insane. So one of the big conventions I did, 3-day event with my $3 stickers, I made over $1,000.
That's awesome.
And it's because, and like I had to learn. It was a hard learning curve. But some people just want to support you no matter what. Yeah. And so even if it's that $3 item, you know, because they can't spend the $45 or they can't spend the $145, they want to, you know, just support you in some way.
That's awesome. All right. I want you to think through all of your 3D tumblers and pick a favorite.
Oh, that's a good one.
I love these hard questions. I live for the hard questions.
Yes.
So I don't have it anymore because I actually sold it. And when I sold it, it was last year. I remember exactly. I made a stacked, so it was a wine tumbler, a stemmed wine tumbler. Mm-hmm. And I made, it was Alice in Wonderland. And I had the teacups underneath. So I made 2 other teacups underneath the main cup. And it was like layers. So one was like the Mad Hatter, one was the Queen maybe, and then the top was the Cheshire Cat. So I made all, you know, so cute. And I take certain cups that I know I wasn't going to sell just to, you know, entice people. And this woman was like, for her daughter wanted it and she didn't want to leave my booth until she got it. And I had said some ridiculous amount, like $200. Because that's a lot to spend at an event, right? Mm-hmm. And, you know, my husband, he works the booth with me. And he was, you know, they asked, and I was like, looked at him, and I'm like, say 200. Thinking they're going to be like, heck no. My 12-year-old daughter doesn't need a $200 cup. She said, okay. And I was like, I sat behind my booth like this for like 20 minutes.
You're like, I was kidding, 300.
I know. I was like, I looked at him and I was like, I should have went higher. He was like, well, you can make another. I was like, it took me forever to make that one.
Right. I don't want to make another one. I want that one.
I know.
That's why I always say, like, you can lower your price, but you can't really raise it. Like, if you start too low, it's sold and it's done. But if you start high and it doesn't sell, then you can knock it down a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
That's backfired on me like a few times where that's happened. I'm like, say like $225. And they're like, okay. And I'm like, okay. I don't learn.
I'm a firm believer if you love a cup enough and want to keep it, you can charge extra for it. Just for it's the let it go fee.
Yeah.
Yep.
For taking something I love away from me, it's $50 more.
Mm-hmm.
Seriously, yeah. Yeah. I should use that next time.
Exactly.
Right.
That's the extra fee.
Mm-hmm.
So what are some of your like goals going forward?
My goals going forward, especially now because I'm pregnant,
mm-hmm.
and I'm already planning for 2025. Like we already have a convention booked for February, which happens to be about less than a month after the baby would be born.
Yeah.
And goal-wise is I don't want to say I've set small goals, but I've set like, okay, next year I want to do this. Next year I want to do this. So there's a few events that I have not been able to get into that I want to. So there's a few here in California. There's a few out of state. Big goal for me is to travel. In the next 5 years, I would love to be able to travel. There's stuff in like Chicago, Tennessee, Florida, Utah, and Texas, and Nevada. So those are some states I want to get to. I also want to think more of brand, not so much just cups. And that's a big part of it. It's more of learning like just Am I always going to be selling cups? You know, is this always going to be it? I mean, I love making cups. To me, it's when it's not a custom or a repetitive cup, it is like a creative freedom that I have that kind of just like mutes everything. But I also want to be a brand. I want people to, I mean, I've had people ask me to take a picture with them, which is so weird. They're like, oh my God, I love you. And I'm like, kind of creepy, but okay, I love you too. You know? But, so expanding my brand, right? And building
diversifying.
On that. Yeah, exactly. Having more things. Just, I know I'm known as like the spooky cup girl out here, and I love that. But I also just want to be able to offer more, so I could be more diverse, like you said.
Sure.
So those are the goals. Baby kind of puts a little bit of a mix in there.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely going to figure that out. I have a lot of, in my head, I'm like, okay, I'm going to prep like November, December, so I don't have to worry about anything next year. So that's what the goal is, too.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, we love it.
It'll be like nesting.
Yeah.
I think that's the goal. I mean, because some of the events we take like up to 200 different types of cups.
Wow.
You know, and I try and make like 50 to 60 that are 3D. And some of them are repetitive. Some of them are like my best sellers, you know.
Right.
But some I try and go big. You know, using the sleeves to help me out, or building on top of the sleeves, or just the clay work in general. Because it's kind of nice. And I think like both of you who are very, very like extremely talented, if you were to do an event, and I'm not like, I don't consider myself a crafter. I don't consider myself like a tumbler maker. I consider myself an artist. And I think you two are the same, right? Like, I hope you don't consider yourself just a cup maker. Yes. I think you guys are artists, and there's a huge difference because there's so much thought put behind it, right? And it's amazing to see people's faces, especially like grown men who are like 40 to like 60. And they're like, you made that? I was like, I should have made it. With these hands, you know? And it's cool. I mean, I've met actors. I've had, you know, who love my work. And like, I did Art the Clown. And the guy who plays it, I showed him the cup. And I was like, look, it's your face on the cup. And he was like, that's so creepy. It's so weird. And but it was cool, you know, like to get like the recognition, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's like where Christina and I are going to Enchanticon next year, just as guests. But that's kind of like my goal is to take one of my Harry Potter cups. Hope there's a Harry Potter actor that we get to do like the meet and greet with, and have that moment and have that same kind of moment where it's like, I made this, and they're like, oh my God, you made that, and
right,
signed and all the things.
Yeah, I mean, there's lots of actors. Obviously it's more horror and Halloween based actors that I'm meeting, or like coming across, like Linda Blair. She's the one who played Reagan from The Exorcist. I made a Reagan.
That's probably the only one I know. Yeah. I don't watch horror movies.
I probably don't know any
at all, but I know her name.
I know this.
I know her name.
There's quite a few, and like people have bought the cup, and then they're like, if I get it signed, can you seal it for me? And I was like, oh yeah, absolutely, you know. Nice. And someone bought The Exorcist and took it to Linda Blair, and they're like, it's okay, we're just gonna put it in our souvenir room. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. You know, so that's kind of cool too. Like your cup's not even being used; it's just a souvenir.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I think that happens a lot in 3D.
Yeah, that's like a great selling point though at a convention too. Is like, if you have something themed for an actor or something like who's there, that almost like makes it more sellable, because it's like a heat of the moment, like, oh, I could buy this and they could go sign it kind of thing. Like, like,
you know what's funny too is so I did, my first convention was called Creep Icon, which was a big horror convention, and I had done like all the slashers, all the villains, you know, just everybody, and I brought Harry Potter stuff because I was brand new, so I really didn't know what to bring. But I had Harry Potter. I mean, I had tons of Harry Potter stuff. I'm a Harry Potter person myself. And that sold out there. Everybody, I was like, I looked at my husband. I was like,
everywhere.
if I would have known that, I would have made I would have made that stuff instead. And, I have the disappearing, reappearing footprint cup and stuff like that. And I was just like, really? Here comes somebody dressed as Freddy that's buying my Harry Potter cup. Okay. All right.
You're everywhere.
I know. I love it. Hey, I'm a hardcore. Like, I read the books. I went to the movie premieres. I was at the midnight showings.
Come on down to Enchanticon.
Yes!
It's next August.
Do it! Come with us!
They're looking
When
for
are the dates?
vendors. Hold on.
Sometime in August.
Their vendor applications are still open.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, really?
Yep.
And where is it at?
It's in St. Louis.
Oh.
August 15th, 16th, and 17th.
I think I have an event that weekend.
No. Yeah,
One of the big
Enchanticon.
It's like the biggest Halloween convention in the United States.
Dang.
That's called, I know. That one's it's called Midsummer Scream. Normally they do it in July, so no, I would have been like, yeah, sign me up, I'll do it. But I think they moved it into August, so I'll check though. I'll double check.
Yeah, do it. Do it.
I'll go, but I would love to go to. I was telling Brian, which is my husband, like if they had Harry Potter like conventions, I would be so down. That would be so cool.
Yeah, and that's what
I
this
would
was originally. It's just it was called LeakyCon, and then they're adding in all these other fandoms, and so that's why it's now like a changed name. But it was originally like a Harry Potter convention.
That's so cool. Why don't they have that here?
It was
they're
closer
about
to
to
you.
for my here. I'm only 3 hours away.
Yeah, it used to be in Portland, and then this is the first year that it's moved.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna look at it. I'm gonna look it up.
You're gonna be like, dang it.
No, I've done 2 events in the same day too, but that's really hard. That's
Oh, I bet.
Especially if we're talking 2 different states. So
yeah, we've done that. I was in Arizona one year or last year. I was in Arizona, and then my husband was here, and I had signed us up for an event, and he worked it. I took my good stuff to the convention in Arizona, and then he took care of things here.
Oh my
awesome. And what an awesome supporter.
He's better at it. You know what?
Yeah, that's awesome.
When I was a manager at the gym, I was a sales manager, so right, like customer service and sales manager. So I dealt with it all. But when we do events, I don't know, maybe it's because it's my it's my stuff that I make, but I don't want to talk to people. And I don't mean that in a mean way, but I'm just like, if someone's going to haggle with me, or if someone, just, oh, well, I can make this. Okay, cool.
Yep. Yep.
Great. Send me a picture when you're done.
Yeah.
Tag me.
Tag me in it.
Right.
No, but he's so good at it. He knows my prices better than I do. He runs it. If you ever came to one of our events, I'm probably either sleeping in the back or I'm shopping, and then he's at the booth.
That's awesome. That is awesome.
That is so awesome.
Props to your husband.
Yes, for real.
My husband would be like that too. He would be the seller, and I would be like, yeah, I made it, but I'm gonna be over here.
That's literally me, Christina. I swear. I'm in the back, eating a taco, and then he's like, oh, they're like, did you make this? And he's like, yeah, she makes it. I'm like,
I love that.
I made it.
Yeah, that's what I would be like. I think it's way easier to sell other people's stuff.
Yeah.
Or hype them up and whatever. But if it's my own stuff, I'm like, good.
Yeah, that's exactly how it is. I mean, obviously there's times where I have to do it. Right. And I started doing it. It was me first, but then I realized how much better he was at it. I was like, because I'd be like, man, no one's buying anything. I'm like, I'm going to go to the bathroom. I'm going to go walk around. And I'll go walk around, and I'll come back. And he's like, I just sold 4 cups. I'm like, what? How? Like, to who? Who's here? I don't know. And he's like, oh, so one of the vendors. One of the other booths came by. And I was like, oh, okay, I'm going to leave more often then.
Those people said no to me 3 times and you sold them 4 cups.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
So he's
Every
a good
single time.
salesman. That's awesome.
I know. See, he could do it.
Yeah.
That's great.
You just earned yourself a new job. Bye,
Yeah.
I'm going to go shopping.
Right.
That's pretty much what happens, though.
That's so funny.
I love it. I love it.
That's so cool. We didn't do our cup of the day.
Oh, I forgot all about that.
Since we're talking Harry Potter a little bit.
I don't have a cup of the day, so I need you two to pick up my slack because I'm waiting. I'm waiting for my cups of the day to come. Kelly.
I had to wait on some stuff to get here for your birthday. And now I don't. And now I need like a box.
I bought them in
It's freaking
June,
huge.
July, June. When did I see you? June.
Where's Taryn's cup so I can just play with a shaker and ignore you? Like I need Taryn's cup to just play with a shaker and ignore you.
Pick up my slack and do the cup of the day.
It's coming. I'm going to do it tomorrow. I have to go buy a box. It's literally on my to-do list. Shut up. You're getting it. You're getting it, damn it. You're getting lots of stuff. So.
It's a big unboxing video.
Oh, her birthday is coming up. So it's like, I have all the birthday things. I have multiple cups. You'll be fine. Chill out.
She's going to send one thing at a time to you, Christina. Like
I'm actually probably going to do 2 boxes because I'm too scared to send it all together.
Yeah.
Like, I think the Chamber of Secrets is going to be in its own special box by itself because I'm scared. It deserves its own box.
UPS and USPS are pretty.
I know.
You know,
so
my customers always send me the box. If I do like ship stuff out and it's like crumpled, and I'm like, how did this happen?
Yeah. Right. I think they see that fragile stick and they're like, oh, let's see. Okay.
Yeah.
So I have 2 cups of the day. So that makes up for Christina. So I'm not the only slacker. So my actual drinking cup. So we all know what happened yesterday. For those tuning in later,
or who don't know,
how could you not? Even if you're not a Harry Potter fan, it is everywhere. Maggie Smith passed away yesterday.
Yes.
So
Professor McGonagall.
So I had to use a Harry Potter cup, and I have not shown this one off yet. This one is from Amanda Lefler.
Amanda's amazing.
Freaking hand-painted, hand-sculpted. I feel like he's grabbing my soul out of me. Like, it's freaking amazing.
Yeah.
I died
if you have that by your bed, I would be so scared.
I know, right? It does. It looks like he's taking... What's funny, too, is, like, my son is now getting into Harry Potter with me. Like, we're on our 2nd round of watching all the movies again, and we're reading the first book together. And I was doing something with a cup, and he's like, Mom, you should make a cup where Voldemort is, like, reaching out. And I literally go to my craft room. I'm like this. He's like, oh. I'm like, I already got one, buddy. I don't need to make it.
Amanda took care of that for you.
It's cute. It's so cute.
Yep. But
it is. I saw it in person when I was at your house, and man, it is amazing. The paint work on it is just incredible. Yeah. She's so good at painting.
We will be featuring her like all the time because she's just amazing. We love buying her stuff. I have an unboxing though. That is also Harry Potter. I've been holding on to this since what? Monday, I think.
And I just got a message.
She's been killing me.
I just got a message like an hour before we started recording that mine is shipped from the same person. So
yes. So on the first episode, we did a bucket list, like our bucket list episode. Me and Christina had a match, which was Lindsey Briggs from Brave Danger Designs. And I mentioned I was trolling her to make a Harry Potter cup. I succeeded and I bought it. So here we are. So
and then when you did that, when you said that, you were like, I am trolling her to make a Harry Potter cup. I was like, ooh, I want her to make a Luna
cup. And she ordered one.
And I did. I was like,
we
I
both
messaged her like that night, and I was like, you need to make this for me. She's like, okay.
And it's
I
looking
want to see.
so cool.
I'm
It's looking
excited.
so cool already. Okay. So I first of all have to laugh at this because I kind of cracked a joke of like, can you not include an invoice? And can you, if you reference this lovely gift you gave me? So she says, I hope you love your prize.
Oh.
Because I really should not have spent
I like
money on
that.
this.
I like that.
I really shouldn't have, but I had to. I was like, can I do payments? Look how cute this paper is.
That is so on brand for her. Speaking of branding.
What just fell? Oh, it's
Yeah, exactly.
yes. Okay, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. It has a little 3D, but it is mostly.
And you can go on her Instagram page, Brave Ranger Designs, like Kelly said, and she has a couple of reels of her making this cup.
Mm-hmm. And she's been doing reels of yours too.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, are you ready?
She hand drew all this.
Okay, but also, why does Harry look like a snack?
He does. It looks really good. That is like man Harry.
Well, hello, Harry.
Yes.
Like he's looking like a
Harry.
snack.
Yes, that is grown Harry.
That's
Harold.
grown Harry right there. This is okay. I'm gonna move my microphone a little so I can get this up close here. So we have. I gotta line it up. Okay, here we go. So we have Voldemort.
Oh, that's good.
And little 3D wand. She sculpted the wand.
That's so cool.
It's so good.
So cool.
Oh, the
I
Deathly Hallows on that.
Yeah.
I love that.
This is all with like colored pencils and what, like watercolors?
Watercolor.
Like she does like a mix of like
Different stuff.
Is her shaker
bottom?
There's a shaker bottom again!
No way.
Is it
I
really?
got a shaker bottom!
Show it again. I can't.
I got a shaker butt. There's little Deathly
Awesome.
Hallows in there, and then she signed it.
Ah, that's so cool. Her
Man, that's so
signature's cool.
tedious.
I have
you
two
know, to
shaker
do
butts
all
now.
those little shaker butt. It's so cute.
Have you ever made a shaker butt before, Sofia?
Heck no. No.
We haven't either.
I haven't done any butt. I don't do butt stuff.
Christina, don't edit that part out.
I will.
We're not. That'll be isolated for a clip later. Don't worry.
Yeah.
God, it's so cool.
That's so cute. I love that. I love the bottom. It's such detail.
I know.
By the time
Yeah,
I'm
that's
at
awesome.
that point, I'm like, okay, let's get this over with.
I
but
have two
it's so-
shaker butts.
With colored
awesome.
pencil.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
colored pencil and like watercolors almost. Because like if you watch her like making like the videos where she's actually doing it, you can see like she's doing colored pencils, but then she does like brushwork. Like I think it's watercolor. is
It's
what it looks like to
watercolor.
me.
I'm pretty sure.
It's so
That's
cool.
beautiful.
I'm not
So
an
I could
expert,
never
but
do this
yeah.
kind of thing.
Yeah,
It's
I couldn't.
amazing. I'm so excited for mine too.
I'm just a happy girl right now.
Yeah, look at you.
Look.
That's cute. I know, Voldemort.
Those are awesome. Show us your cup, Sofia.
So this is a cup that I made 3 years ago, and I was doing like a spooky Christmas event, and I ended up keeping this cup for myself because I loved it so much, and I had to remake it a few times. It's a little
that's
Jack
cool.
Nutcracker.
Love it. That's such
That's
a cool
awesome.
idea.
Yeah,
I don't think
it's
I've
cute.
ever seen that
Oh,
before
no,
either.
I don't think
like
I have
anybody do
either.
that match.
You
Gosh.
haven't, because I was on Google, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook trying to look for an example, and I couldn't. And I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna freehand it. So everything was
Hold it
just
up again.
like stripes
Yeah.
and circles from Cricut. I just started cutting
That's
it.
so creative. Yeah, you put that together yourself. That's awesome.
That's awesome.
And I do have another cup because I'm sitting at my desk.
Yeah.
It is Harry Potter.
All right.
So
We are
It's
all
something
about
I-
double cups of the day.
I haven't finished it, to be honest, and I started this a long time ago, like probably the end of last year, and I just never finished it because I had the book sleeves and I really wanted to make something with them, like something cool. And so I did the Chamber of Secrets.
Nice.
Oh, that's
And this is
awesome.
the, you know,
The Fang.
I just watched that movie today.
Fang.
Yeah, I mean,
That's awesome.
Yeah, I need to finish it. It needs
You need to
more
finish it, yeah.
finessing in it.
We're not going to talk about unfinished cups.
I'm right there with you, though. Like, I literally have a shelf staring at me.
I have cabinets.
You do. You do have cabinets.
You win with the cabinets, but we all got a shelf.
The other mother is staring at me right now.
Kelly, you know what? I was like,
I'm so glad you did that.
I was like, you know what? I need to make it because I made a Coraline coffee cup, and then I was like, dang, like Kelly never finished that one. I can't believe she, and I was just trying to think about it, and I was like, well, how am I gonna start it? And then it took me like 4 hours, and I started sculpting it. And
it made me so happy when I saw that. I'm like, good, somebody did it, because Lord knows I didn't.
You're like, now I don't have to.
You know what's so hard too is like when you're coming up with the ideas, like especially if you don't have a reference other than like the pictures and stuff, and like that was the hardest. I was like, how am I gonna get her features to look?
You did so freaking good.
Yeah, it's really good.
Like it was like one of those things. Like I had this idea years ago, started and never went anywhere with it, and it was like when you posted it was like that was my vision, and I was like so happy to like just finally see it done and
see it alive.
It was way better than I never would have been, but like it was so good. I loved it. It made me so happy.
It's gonna be in your cabinet, like finish me.
It's talking to me right now. Well, and whenever Christina and I went live recently on TikTok, I don't even remember how that cup got brought up. That's why I can see it because it's right there because I pulled it out to like show everybody. I was like, this. Like
nope, you said that because you were like,
it was all epoxy sculpt.
All this stuff on here that's way wrong with it. I'm never gonna finish this.
I mean, that was my early days. Like I've come so far since then. I don't want to use epoxy sculpt to finish that. Like I want, so it's just like that's never happening.
Yeah,
that's a lost project. That's just probably gonna go in the trash. So it's like it made me so happy to see that.
Yeah,
I loved it. You did amazing on that.
It was.
I think I was trying to. Wasn't I trying to buy that from you? Even it not finished. I think I was trying to like bribe her. Like, please, let me just have it.
Take my unfinished cup.
Yeah, I think it was
funny.
So funny.
Oh, funny. Well, no, you don't have to. Kelly's like, trust me, you didn't even want that.
No, like she did a million times better than what I had started. Like that was so freaking amazing. I love it. I love it so much.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I mean, I was watching the movie. I was like, I need to get this done. You know when you get in those moods, you're like, I just need to get it. I just need to start it and finish it, and then I'll be done with it.
Yeah, need to get it out of your head.
Yeah.
Yep.
I've never seen the movie. I need to watch it.
Start. It is.
That's what I
have
hear.
A list for her. Add it to your list.
Yeah.
After Halloween Town.
Yeah.
Her face just sank. Do you see that? She's like, God, not that one too. Jeez.
Just have it on in the background. Just when you're doing stuff.
After
not
Dirty
Coraline.
Dancing.
Coraline's a little bit. I feel like Coraline's too dark.
I am gonna write these down.
You need a list: Dirty Dancing, Halloween Town, Coraline.
I think Dirty Dancing needs to be at the top.
Yep.
Yeah, nobody puts baby in the corner.
That's right. Like I know what happens. I know the story. I know all these things. I've just never seen it.
You need to go have the time of your life.
Yeah.
I had the time of my life all the time.
It'll make you want to learn like the salsa. Maybe.
What was it again? Halloween Town, that's right. I feel like I have seen it. I just don't remember. Halloween
the first
Town.
Two.
Oh yeah, Coraline.
Mm-hmm. The first two are the good ones, and it kind of goes south. But
yeah.
The fourth one doesn't even have the same actress.
Yeah, that's where they lost me. I was like, nah.
Yep. Well, and I've never found any explanation as to why. Other than they didn't ask her. I'm like, why
and
not?
then they didn't bring the little sister into it anymore. And she was like one of my favorite parts.
Oh yeah, she wasn't in the last one, was she?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Gotta watch it.
Me either.
Yeah.
You'll get it. Watch. You're gonna watch it and be like, what the heck? They were right.
Well, then she married the guy from the second one, right?
Yes. So they actually been at events we've done. They've been to an event.
Really?
They've been to the events.
Oh, that's so cool.
I had like a Halloween Town cup. It was just like a regular like water slide on some glitter. And they came by and I was like, should I ask them to take a picture with it? And I was like, but it's not even cool. Like it wasn't even like a
3D
the
answer's always yes.
I know. But they do lots of events out here. Lots of the horror events and Halloween events. Okay. They're always there.
Let me know if they're
That's
at one.
cute.
I will totally send this cup to get it signed.
Remember you were gonna send me the Rose
Charmed.
McGowan?
Wasn't it Charmed? Yes.
Her autograph and it's really expensive.
Oh.
Like over $100. Yeah.
At least we get a credit with our Enchanticon. You do.
Should we play a game?
Yes.
Okay.
We always love a good game.
We like to play a little game. So we're going to play Would You Rather. We're going to play, I've got a couple of just like regular Would You Rathers, and I got a couple craft style ones. Okay. You know how to play Would You Rather? It's pretty straightforward. I'm just asking questions. Would you rather have this or this? There's not really much explaining to it. Okay, I'm going to go regular Would You Rather first. I haven't read any of these, so.
Do you want to read it? You go. We just kind of work down the screen. You go, I go, Sofia goes, kind of thing.
Okay, I don't know.
Can you tell how much we plan things?
Right, we plan a lot. Would you rather? I don't like this one.
Fail. We already failed the game.
Would you rather drink dirty water from the washing machine or someone else's bath water?
I feel like that's the same.
Ew, I don't know.
I'm gonna go. I think I'm gonna go with washer, and here's why. Because I'm gonna assume this is after the clothes have been washed. So at least they've gone through a soap and heat cycle to maybe sterilize some stuff. I don't know. Whereas bath water is just straight dirty water. At least there's high temperatures, I don't know.
I'm gonna say bath water, and the only reason I'm even contemplating this is I've drank some ocean water before, not on purpose, and who knows what's that, yeah. I'll do bath water.
All right, Christina.
I think I'm gonna go washing machine because that's somebody's clothes, and bath water is somebody's body,
right?
And there's hair.
Well, what if there's mold inside the washer?
Oh, that's a good point.
That's what I was thinking. How sometimes
I didn't think about that part.
I don't know. I can't see.
Okay, whose bath water? That changes a lot. Yeah. My son's absolutely not. Mine, sure.
Right.
My husband's heck no. I know what he does for a living. There is dust and dirt all over that man. No,
I don't know. That one's a tough one. That one's a tough one. Ooh, this one's really bad.
Oh no.
Gross. Would you rather accidentally walk in on your parents or have your parents walk in on you?
Parents can walk in on me, then I won't be so scared.
I don't know. Oh my gosh.
I can still sleep at night, and they can be haunted with the images. I'm going to selfishly pick.
I feel the same way. I'm going the same way.
Yeah, I was like, wait a minute.
I don't want that image in my head.
Yeah.
They can deal with it.
Yep.
Yeah.
That can live in
or I'm going to
their
selfishly
head.
pick. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That can live in their head, not in my head.
Exactly.
Yeah. Knock on the door. Come on.
Right. Like, you make the mistake, not me make the mistake.
It would never happen anyways, but...
Ugh. Oh. Okay. Would you rather your cups strip themselves, but every time you epoxy, there's stray lint? Or perfect epoxy every time, but you can never know the color of glitter you are using until it touches the cup?
Oh. Okay, read the three again.
Your cups strip themselves. So if you screw up and you're like, I gotta strip this, it'll do it itself.
Okay, so that's a nice answer.
But when you epoxy, there's always a piece of stray lint in it.
Well, then you're always epoxying.
Or perfect epoxy every time, but you can never know the color of your glitter until it touches your cup.
That's a hard one.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I'm
because you're either gonna make you either risk making something that's fugly, or you're literally epoxying forever, or selling like something that's flawed because of every single time.
I think I'm gonna go with the stray lint because stripping cups suck.
And at least it does do it itself.
Yeah, unless you just make 3D cups for the rest of your life with no glitter on it, then you don't have to worry. I found a loophole.
I actually don't do a whole lot of glitter. I could just stop doing glitter. I think I'm gonna go glitter.
You own glitter? You can't. You don't know. You don't know the color of the glitter.
We already know that where are they at? I don't think I have them handy.
That's what gave me the idea.
Here we go. We already know that sometimes Kelly doesn't know the colors of the glitter.
So that's what gave me the idea.
That's hilarious.
Thinking about that.
So I'll go with that one.
I think I'm gonna go with the lint, and then I'm just gonna be like, well, it's not perfect. It's homemade. There's a piece of lint in it. Sorry.
Yeah. Same. I'm right there with you.
Yeah. And then instead of a pile of cups that I have that I need to strip that I haven't in 2 years, they'll just do it themselves.
That is
Kelly's never stripped a cup.
I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, that whole shelf of got it.
I just bought a bunch of stuff to strip cups because I'm like, I'm doing it. I'm not buying any more cups because I won't strip them.
Are you gonna do like the bucket thing where you just put them
Yeah, I've done it before and it works.
Me
great. I just need to do it.
Yeah.
And I told myself that I'm going to do it.
I didn't know how that method worked the first time I tried to strip a cup. And the only method I saw was people would acetone a paper towel, like a big folded paper towel, roll it up, Ziploc it for so many days, whatever. That's the only method I knew of. So I tried it. It's still wrapped up.
How many years later? That paper towel. That paper towel is dry, bone dry.
It's one with the cup now.
Yeah.
They're probably all merged together in there. Yeah.
It's a paper
towel.
Cup.
One day I'll unbag it on here for you guys.
Yeah.
Okay. Would you rather never have to cut vinyl again, but anytime you lay it down, it's slightly crooked, or Or you never have to rim your cup, but prepping it is twice as much work.
Okay, say that one more time.
I made these long.
I know. That's why I'm like, my ADHD brain needs to hear it twice.
You never have to cut vinyl again, but anytime you lay it down, it's a little bit crooked. It's crooked.
Okay.
Enough to where you're like, that's crooked.
Okay.
But it's not like crooked.
Got it. Okay.
You don't ever have to do a rim job. But when you prep your cup, it's twice as much work.
The first one. I put it on crooked all the time anyways. Like, that's nothing new. So.
Okay.
It's like that thing with the nail. Like, you just gotta,
Like,
tilt your head.
My finger a little bit.
I think I would go with I hate cutting vinyl. I hate turning on my Cricut and.
Me too.
I mean, I don't.
And
even
you can hide some stuff with some vinyl stripes. Like, you can maybe even things out a little. I don't know.
I think I would too. Just the convenience of being able to just be like, I want that, and it would be there.
Yeah.
Yep.
I've tried to pay people. Like, hey, will you cut my decals?
Oh yeah, that would be
in
so
bulk,
nice. Right? Just weed that for me, and
yeah.
That'll be good.
When people say that they like to weed things, like to calm their nerves, I was like, what is going on in your life?
Right? I'm like, oh.
I don't understand you.
I don't like doing that, but I could see where somebody would do that because it's kind of like when you work with clay. You're doing something with your hands, and or like rhinestoning. It's like a tedious thing.
Yeah. I just hate cutting stuff because, like, I don't use my Cricut, like, at all anymore. So it's not, like, an active thing that's out for me. So it's like when I do have to do it, it's like, okay, where's my mats? Okay, let me plug this in. All right, let's move this to an open space. Like it's work just to set it up kind of thing. So I think that's why I hate it so much.
I think me, it's like it gets stuck on my fingers, or like it's always that like eye that misses the dot that just disappears and ends up in my hair.
Sharpie. Done. I learned that one early on.
But like it's stuff like that. So for me, it's just like I've tried to do like those intricate cutting, and I'm like, no.
Yeah, right.
I just did my first V split ever the other day.
Really?
I've never done one before, and I just did it the other day. And Christina's gonna help me with a template tomorrow.
Yeah.
Ooh,
yeah.
I can't wait.
She's not a vinyl girl.
I basically went from the most basic glitter cups you can think of to 3D. So it's like I didn't get to go through that process of like when all the printed vinyls came out and people started doing these intricate templates and stuff. I was on 3D by then. So it's like I never even got to like I never took the time to learn that stuff, and I'm like, I'm gonna learn it. So I'm trying now.
That's fun though. I mean, that's
It
cool
is fun. I'm enjoying it.
You're so advanced in one area, and now like going back
I'm
and
a
like
baby in another. Yeah. I was like, yeah, I'm trying to grow and expand. So
that's good.
Oh.
Good luck, Christina, with teaching her.
Yeah.
She's like, I know this girl now. Good luck.
I'm like, just do it.
Posted.
And she's like, but how do I do this? And I'm like, just do it. Just put it on and do it. But
it's okay, Kelly. You got this. You got it.
She does. She'll be fine. She'll be fine. It'll be beautiful. 7 panic attacks later, and it'll be beautiful.
Like that time she sat on the FaceTime while I did a drip. Like, is it done yet? And she's like, no. I'm like, but look at it. No. I'm like, okay.
Drips are hard. That's hard.
Best drip I've ever done. That's the best drip I've ever done. It was with her there.
Sculpt it out if I can, and like manipulate it if I
can. Yep.
And the pops. I mean, there's some that come out so good. And I'm like, yeah, I got this. And then it like 30 minutes later, I try it again, and it was like dripped all the way down.
All right. Yep.
Yep. It's insane.
Mm-hmm. They are tricky. They're tricky. I love them though. You guys talking about it? I'm like, ooh, I would drip something. I would like
Well,
to drip
I mean,
something.
shoot. Let's go with the third cup. Christina Smith, right here. Look at how this girl does her drip.
Oh, that looks so good. See, I like how it like is thick, and then it drips down.
She does Christina does perfect drips.
I try to. I like that. I like the hot glue method. I've tried the hot glue method, and that's very
hot glue.
It's fast and easy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
yeah. I do both.
Here.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Let's do another one. Let's do one more. Okay. It's another crafting one, so pay attention because it's longer.
Kelly. Okay. Okay.
Okay. Would you rather snap your fingers and then your craft room is clean, but you can never ever use fast set or UV epoxy again?
My face is faded, like Okay.
That's hard.
Or you can have one coat paint, or you can use spray paint on clay. So like the paint you use, like you only need to use one coat, or you can use spray paint on polymer clay, whatever, both or whatever. But epoxy takes twice as long. So like if your cup normally takes 10 hours, it takes 20 hours now.
Say the first one again.
Snap your fingers and your craft room is clean, but you can never use fast set or UV resin.
It's not in the fast set part that's getting me in that question, because with 3D that's really hard. It's the UV part, because that has been a game changer for me.
I know,
3D.
that's why
by doing like one thin layer of UV, then it's like one coat of epoxy and you're like solid, like it's perfect. Like,
that's why I added it, because I knew that fast set wasn't going to be that big of a deal for you, but I knew UV. And I didn't know what it would be for Sophia. I was like, I don't know, does she use fast set a lot?
Well, and we know my craft room is trash, so
yeah. And I do love using a good fast set, but I also barely started using fast set in probably like the last 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
So I love it. Man, I hate cleaning my craft room. I mean, like, I love it when it's done, but I'm also like, I know where things are in a mess.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know where things are in a mess. I just don't know where anything is ever. I can be in the middle of life. I'm like, where's that toy I just put down? Where's that? Where? Oh, and it's like in like a pile of crap.
You could snap your fingers, and it would be clean.
But no UV and no fast set. And then what was the other one?
You can only use regular epoxy.
The other one is paint or
twice
spray
as
paint,
long,
right?
Yep.
But
epoxy takes twice as long.
See,
I'm looking at the perk versus the loss.
The thing with epoxy though is like, what if it's like you need 2 coats, or what if that lint is in there and then you got to sand it and then it takes twice as long?
I think I'm gonna go with the first one. As much as I love using UV to get those nooks and the crannies and the things, I could take twice as long and get it with just epoxy and have a nice clean room.
Yeah.
I feel like the gain of the second one is not enough, is what it is for me.
Okay.
The gain of the spray paint, like, yeah, that'd be nice, but I deal without it. So, and I have been for a long time to not spray paint polymer clay. Like, I've been dealing with that for so long.
Mm-hmm. But and even like acrylic paint though, it would just be one coat and it would be done.
But this room is trash.
Okay, just saying. Any kind of paint you use, just one coat.
I think I'm gonna go with the first one.
Okay.
I think I'm going with the first one too.
Snap your fingers.
Yeah, I like want to do that right now.
Didn't work.
Yeah. I wish that would be amazing. Like, and if it's all organized, clean too, like really like neurotic or OCD, that would be beautiful.
Right?
I can't do that, but
my room's so small and I just have so much that it's like it's hard to get it organized. It's hard.
What would you do, Christina?
I'm looking at it right now and I'm like, God, I don't know. I don't know.
Spray painting clay is an enticing offer.
Well, yeah, or even just one coat with acrylic would be really nice because
Yeah.
I just painted something and I'm on like the third coat. I'm like, God, that would be nice just to do one coat and be
I'm
done.
just sitting here with my cups like this. I'm like, because he's like reaching at Harry's face. I'm just staring at him like, sorry.
I think I'm gonna go with you guys, and I'm gonna do the snap the fingers thing too because, God, that would just save so much time in general.
It's so bad. I
I'm
can't I made some progress, like selling a bunch of stuff that was unfinished at a discount, and I got like a bunch of cups out, and I'm like, we're already back to where we were. How did that happen?
I'm one of those cleaners, like, you know, even when I was younger, like if I clean and I'm going through stuff and I find something I haven't seen in a while, I'm like, oh, what's this? I need to start working on this again. Or I need to wear this shirt I haven't seen in 3 years. I need to wear it again, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yep.
I was that kid that'd be cleaning their room and they're like, ooh, I haven't found this in a while. And then you're like playing with it and mom busts in like, why aren't you cleaning your room? You're like, oh shit. That's definitely me too.
Yep. I've definitely done that.
Like, oh, that random craft I bought for that new hobby I thought I was going to start and never did.
Oh, yeah. That's usually how most of my craft room cleaning is. It's like, oh, the last time that I cleaned my room a year ago, I said I was going to use this, and it's been a year. I haven't used it.
Yeah. Or like when you buy more supplies and you're like, oh, I'm definitely like, I have tons and tons of fabric when I went through this fabric stage.
Didn't use it.
No, it's like piles, like over there. Like I was like, oh yeah, I'm definitely gonna use it. It's so cute. And like I think it's just the idea of it. Like, oh, I can make all these fabric tumblers. And then you start like with the first layer of Mod Podge and you're like, no, this isn't worth it.
No.
It's not worth it.
No.
So yeah,
I just realized I'm like, I really could clear out these drawers that are right here. Like I have a whole all the molds, and that is only an eighth of this drawer. Probably.
Are those like resin molds or like clay molds?
We've got all.
Oh yeah, I went through a mold phase too. So I was like, oh yeah, I'm totally gonna make coasters and I'm totally gonna make trays. I have
a tray mold. Never used it.
See me, I'm like, oh, I want to do that. I would do that. I wouldn't, but I would. But I'm like, in my head, I'm thinking like, oh yeah, I could make a tray. Yeah.
I bought this cute little chocolate frog one, and I made 2 things out of it, and that was it.
Well, at least it got used.
Yeah.
That's true.
I mean, I have some from when I first started that I bought like a bunch because of course that's what I had to do too. Yeah. And they're still in the package. I mean, I bought one of those little that comes with the handles for a tray set.
Yes. Yep.
Never
used it. Yep.
It's still in the
I have that with the alphabet letters.
That
everybody made the keychains with. Yeah.
I got one of those somewhere.
When I first started, I was crazy, and I thought like, oh, I'll give everyone a personalized keychain.
So exactly why I did that. Never did it.
It was too much work.
Never did it. I did that.
I think what I used the most out of all the molds, the one I've used the most, not anymore, but was like teardrop earrings. Because I would throw those, like that was always just a fun way to like play with your glitter and see it under epoxy, and then I would just like throw them in as like extra freebies or something.
Yeah,
that was probably like the only one I've really like used a lot of.
Mm-hmm. I used one. It was a Hogwarts castle, like dagger.
Oh,
it was like Kiki.
Yeah,
Hogwarts like a castle.
Yeah, and so, I know exactly what you're talking about, and you can like it's like a knuckle one.
Yeah. So I made a few of those because my sister also likes Harry Potter, so she wanted a Slytherin one for her, and then her friend was a Ravenclaw, so I made a blue one and the green one, and I put like the little bolt on it and stuff, and I used it maybe like 10 times. That's it.
I have a whole box of glitter that I'm like staring at that has been there for probably 2 years that I say that I'm going to destash. Never have. Never have.
I love that we're all guilty of the same stuff.
Yeah. Or when you guys first started, did you guys like catch the loose glitter and then like I'll mix it and like make it into the resin mold and stuff?
I have
never did
3
do that.
cups of glitter sitting on my windowsill over here
Of dumb glitter.
from years ago.
Look, I just found one. There's just one right here, like this little cup.
Yeah, I started throwing them away because I'm like, I've never used this, but I still have a couple right over here from like the very beginning that I'm like, I have to save every little speck.
Yeah.
Why? I don't know. We're all just hoarders, apparently. Craft hoarders. That's what we learned today.
It's precious. I gotta save it. I gotta keep it.
Someday there's gonna be like a hoarder's crafter edition.
Yeah.
Swear.
Right. If you're watching, tell us what you hoard in
Yes.
your craft room, please. So we can feel better about ourselves.
Like all the vinyls.
Right.
Dirty paintbrushes.
I have so much vinyl. And before we started recording, I was telling Kelly that I'm buying more because it's on sale. And I'm like, well, I have to. It's only $1. I'm going to buy it.
It's crazy, how we can negotiate that in our head. Like, well, even though I have a stack here that's not been touched, I'm going to buy more because it's only $1. Like tomorrow, I'm going to a friend who lives not too far. She's a supplier. She does UVDTF.
Mm-hmm.
I'm driving to her house to buy more. I have 3 drawers filled of UVDTF. I do not need more, but I want more.
Right. Exactly. Okay. All right. Sophia, thank you so much for joining us on this episode. We loved having you as a guest and telling us all about you and all of your events and stuff and giving everybody advice. Thank you for sharing all of that with us. We will make sure to share all of Sophia's social media stuff below in the descriptions. Make sure you go and check out all of her amazing work and follow her. And make sure that you give us a like and a subscribe and hit that bell and, all that stuff when you're watching us, because we super appreciate and love all of your support. And make sure you give it to Sofia too. And congratulations on the baby and and all the events that you have coming up. Good luck with all of that. We will be cheering you on. And we'll see everybody next time. Cheers, everyone.
Cheers.
Bye.